Hi, my name's Toosie. I'm going to take you through a basic tummy position activation sequence. What I find is whenever people are doing exercises on their back, they are so concerned what their abs are doing that they forget what the rest of the body is doing. So we're going to take you through some breathing exercises, rib settling, and putting your body into a pelvis neutral. So if you come and lie on your back, feet hip-width apart, so you're in train tracks. So the first thing I want you to do is focus on what your ribs are doing. So if you put your hands on the side of your ribs, you're going to take a deep breath in for me and try and expand your ribs sideways, not upwards towards the ceiling. So breathe in, put them outwards, but what you're not doing here is you're not forcing them, you're just increasing the expansion, drawing the air into the sides and the back of your ribs. Then as you breathe out, you're going to allow your ribs to settle down and fall heavy into the mat. So you should feel more of your lower back coming down onto the mat. So if you do that 2 or 3 times to make sure that your ribs are totally settled, what normally happens here is as we're settling the ribs, our pelvis then gently starts to tilt, because in our head we want our whole back flat. But remember that you've got a little bit of a curve here. So that brings us on to our second positioning. So once we've got our ribs settled, we then go onto our pelvis. So try and keep your ribs where they were. Use your hand just to make sure that you don't get out of that position. And then you're going to think about your pelvic area, pubic bones and hip bones. We want them as close to the horizontal as we can. But remember, your neutral is different to my neutral. So you're going to tilt your pelvis backwards, then arch it forwards without the ribs moving, and then settle somewhere in the middle. And then what you will feel is you have a little bit of a gap in your lower back. So that is your start position for any exercise that you would do on your back. So then let's talk tummy activation. That's the third component in this perfect positioning we've got going here. So when you think about your tummy, what you don't want to do is you don't want to grip yourself down. So you want to think about engaging through your pelvic floor. So if you're female, you're going to close your vagina and scoop your anus to your belly. If you're male, you're going to pull your scrotum up and scoop your anus up to your belly button. And then you're going to think about drawing in your deep tummy muscles. And there are loads of cues that work well for this. The one I prefer is if you think about zipping your hips together, gently drawing your belly button to the spine, but your actual body should not move when you do it. So your ribs are settled, your pelvis is neutral, you take a deep breath in, and then as you breathe out, think about engaging through your pelvic floor, through your deep tummy muscles. Now if you want to find out if you're using your deep tummy muscles, you get the curve of your hip bone where it pokes here. You take your thumb, one thumb in, one thumb down. So it's just in line with the top of your pubic hair normally, and you should be able to feel the tightening of your internal abs there. If you feel the bulge, like somebody's pushing up against or something's pushing up against you, it means that you're trying too hard. So you need to back your contraction off about 30% from there. And that's what we would call your basic setting situation. So once you've got that, then when you start moving all of your legs or your arms, you've got that stability through your core.